let's go. So, do you want to just tell me who you are and how you came to have this horrible device on your leg?
My name is Michael Robinson. I had called one morning for assistance getting to the hospital, and the ambulance never came. So I decided to drive myself, and I went about 2 blocks from the house and decided maybe I just go back and try and get my wife away from somebody else. When I got back, pulled in my driveway, the police pulled in behind me. And because I had alcohol in the car, I'd been drinking the night before, I got a DUI. But they said they came out for a domestic disturbance call. It never happened. They'd already talked to my wife and she had told them that nothing had happened. But still, they were still there lurking around, you know, my house there. They said they saw me driving down the street, but they didn't because there was nobody on the street but me. But that's a different story. So when I went in for my bond hearing the next morning, I was just coming off sick leave, so I didn't go back to work till that following week. And the person that handles the bonds asked the judge or the person that's issuing the bonds if I could have an OR because my money was shallow as me being off work for like 3 months. And they said, sure, we'll give you the OR, but if we give you the OR, then we're gonna also give you scram. So that's how it came about. Originally, I didn't even have it. So they gave me an OR bond and they gave me scram, which wound up costing me $300 a month. So it would have been cheaper if I would have still had money for that bond, but I didn't. And after they gave me the OR bond and I was released, I had to sit in jail another week waiting for scram to come because they just didn't come. So I had been released from the jail by the judge, and so I couldn't be put inside the jail. I was sitting in a holding pen for a week because I had been released. So I couldn't go inside population and into a housing unit. I was in a little small cubicle cell for a week waiting for scram to come, who didn't come for a week. But then after they did come and put the device on, it was almost immediately. It wasn't a week before I started having issues with sores and everything. And I started telling scram about my sores and what was going on. And they wouldn't do anything. So it came to the point when I told them, look, I want to start making my own records of things and trying to get some help because you guys won't do anything. Their attitude was, do whatever you want. It's court ordered. You're going to wear it basically or else. I don't have a recording of that, but I do of everything else after that. And so I started making a recording of it, and they knew about it. And lo and behold, the next month, we were called in, and my case was changed from just a regular DUI to a felony one, an ex-felony one, because I had 2 in Michigan when I was in college. After telling them that, and it seems like every time I asked them about the source or some help from it, or my doctors would send a report or something to them, then there was some kind of way they would try and violate me. But here again, I kept all the records of that, so they weren't able to violate me on anything, but they keep putting them in every time I say something about the sores. And the sores have been going on now constantly, not just a week or two, 11 months. 11 months of open wound pussy sores. I have at least, I'm not every day, but every other day at least. Usually every day I try and take a new picture of it because it changes as I'm walking around and stuff. So I have maybe like 300 or 400 pictures of documenting how the sores have been going on for the last 11 months, on top of 4 doctor reports. 2 of the doctor's reports are the most recent, in which Dr. actually told them, look, this device is causing these injuries and they're not going to stop until this device is removed. And even then, they didn't take it off. It took another report from Axiom telling them, listen, it had to come off. Then at that point, my lawyer became a little agitated with them, and he decided he was going to file a motion. So Scram would not do anything, and the state's attorneys would also not do anything, even though they knew. Scram actually saw the sores over and over and over. Every time they would call me in for what they would call a fit test or an adjustment, which was at least like once a month. And the state's attorney's office knew because the congressman's office called them. My attorney called them. The governor's office called them. So they were well aware of the sores. But that's kind of funny too, because in court a couple months later, the state's attorney's office denied ever knowing anything about the sores. So did Scram. Scram said they had never knew anything about the sores. Of course, I do have them on documentation, audio, and the pictures from the office visits, the same day they went to the office visit, showing the sores. They knew about it, but they come to court and they lie about it. And because they're court officers, the judge is leaning their way. He doesn't want to hear anything but what they have to say. So they're basically doing whatever they want to do. They have carte blanche, and doing whatever they want to do. But the only thing that's really saved me from that is because I've been keeping pretty much pretty good records. Pretty good records. Like I'm able to tell my lawyer, no, see, they said this last month, and now they're saying this. So anyhow, we have the point where my doctor told him that it had to come off. When that happened, my lawyer put in a motion to have it taken off, and so they took it off. They didn't want to, but they took it off because by that time we have all these pictures and all these doctor's reports, and they said, "Oh, okay, well, yeah, we didn't know about it. We're taking it off." My lawyer and I looking at each other like they're lying. They're lying here in court. We have audio. We have court statements. They knew about it. But anyway, they took it off and they gave me a handheld breathalyzer that's supposed to take the place of it. But the only problem with the breathalyzer is it has to test on a schedule, and the one they gave me didn't work. I have audio of them trying to get that thing to work like 8 different times just to get 3. It has to test good 3 times. It took us 40 minutes to get the thing to work, or it took them 40 minutes to get the thing to work. And that's what they gave me to take home, which is supposed to monitor me, a faulty one. And then, and I have that documented as well. And then they gave me a schedule that's ridiculous. It was like 20 all day long, just times, just blocks of times, like from 1:30 to 3 o'clock, but it said nothing. That's all it said. And I work a 12-hour rotating shift, which they know because you have to have a schedule. When you get on this thing, they know I work a 12-hour rotating shift. And I go in on my off days, usually off shifts, like either days or the nights and stuff like that, whichever one they need me, because I'm in facilities. In other words, I keep the plant running. My department keeps the plant running. When things break or things that look like they're going to break or someone can't be there, someone has to fill in. If any kind of tank entry or dangerous work has to be done, we have to be there. They know that I'm on call pretty much 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They gave me no time for sleeping and no time for working. This thing was supposed to give me a text message when it was time to do it, because you can't hear it because it's so light, and at half the time that didn't work either. And then when you're blowing it, it would say either retest or it would just shut off. I have audios and video of that as well. It's kind of the games that they play to I don't know, to get what they want, or to get to the ends of the means that they want. So they gave me a ankle monitor. Oh, I got to tell you this too. They gave me the ankle monitor they gave me that caused sores for the first 10 months. They took it off that after my lawyer started making a fuss about it, and they put it on the other ankle. After the lady at the scram office had already decided that putting it on the other ankle would just cause more sores. Now keep in mind, these are the people that don't know anything about the sores, right? But we have her on audio saying that putting it on the other ankle is just going to cause more sores. But then later, like 2 or 3 months later, they decided to put it on the other ankle. Of course, a week later, I had sores on that ankle. That's when they took it off, put it on the breathalyzer. But these are also the same people that went so far as to try to get me violated for complaining about the sores, on even lying in court about monies. They gave false testimony in court. They filed a motion to violate me, saying I hadn't paid all my money after complaining to one of the outside agencies about my ankle monitor causing sores and violating my rights. They filed a motion saying that I owed Scram $900, over $100 a month for every month that I had been on, which I had been on 8 or 9 months at that time. Said I had never paid the full amount. When I have them on audio 2 months earlier checking my account and telling me I'm paid in full. But all of a sudden, after me complaining, and I think that was the complaint to the congressman's office, now I owe them $900 that I've never paid the full amount since I've been on there. No one ever questions them or anything else. Even though I have it on audio, oh yeah, you're paid in full. 2 months later, oh no, you owe us $1,000. Well, $900 is $1,000. Either pay it or go to jail. Because if you're in jail, you can't complain, you can't work, you can't afford your defense. And that would be ideal for them at this point, because I've accumulated so much stuff against them. So they keep trying to put me in jail, and they probably will achieve their goal eventually. But that gives me the opportunity to let the agencies or the attorneys or whoever that can do something about this actually step in. And the only problem with that is because this is not a big money, and a big topic issue, no one's interested. All these civil rights attorneys in the Joliet and Chicago area are not interested. They will tell you, oh, we're going to research or something like that. They're going to come back and say, oh, this is something that we don't handle. But it says right on their thing they do civil rights, personal injury. Section 1983, which is lawyers that deal with the federal violations, which this is, by civil rights, all say the same thing. They're not interested. There's no money involved with them for it. So they're basically not doing anything. NAACP, nothing. ACLU did get back with me. They just had so many cases they couldn't take it. Department of Justice, never heard anything from them. Of course, I was suggested to contact the FBI, but we'll see about that. And also the state police. But every attorney in the Joliet area and Chicagoland area are not touching this because, one, they're court officers, and two, it's just not enough money involved for them. So they have carte blanche to do whatever they want, pretty much, because the judge, by them being court officers or sworn in as court officers, they don't even want to hear what you have to say. All their reports, check this out, have to come from Scram. They're not interested in any other report except the reports from Scram. Just like if you were to get a case and the judge asks, what is he being charged with? He doesn't want to hear from you. He wants to hear from the state's attorney's office. Guess what? The state's attorney's office is the one making the charges. So you never get to say anything, and they don't know what's right or wrong or what's true or not because who cares what you say? It's not your turn yet. But in that time that it comes to be your turn, all these things happen to you. And Scram has that carte blanche because they're court officers. So whatever's going on with you, no one's ever going to know. No one's ever going to know because they make the rules. They can do whatever they want to do, and the judge is going to say, my court officers is not going to lie to me. But their court officers are lying to them. I got a year's worth of documented photographs, audio, and video of them actually lying in court, lying on paperwork, lying, totally telling untruth and changing the truth. But it hasn't gotten to the point where anyone is looking at it. I mean, I have these audios and videos just sitting on my laptop flashed. I have them backed up because at this point, I'm not sure what could happen dealing with Scram. They can do whatever they want. I can come home one day and my computer's fried. I mean, you can send a backtrace signal. Trust me, I know I'm an engineer. But all these things that I've accumulated, no one knows about. No one knows about the atrocities and the horrible things that Scram can do to you and how no one's interested in it. Even our agencies that say that they are, they're not. If you're not a big ticket item, they're not interested because it's not at the point where it's going to get out in court or anything like that, and it never will if they can get you in jail first. Once you're in jail, you become a quiet little mouse. There's really nothing you can do through there. But as long as you're out and you're working, you can afford a defense and you can seek help, and that's what they don't want. But because of my so accurate record keeping to this point, that's what's been keeping me out. But that's coming to it. That wick's coming down. That wick's coming down. I won't have that cushion anymore. So we got to find somebody that can do something about this, or is willing to get this out or get to the right agency real quick. Or guess what? The Deep South rises again in the form of Scram.
Mm-hmm. So why do you think? I mean, why do you think you're getting these sores on your leg? What do you think is?
Oh, it's from the monitor. I don't know if you can get. I have it on now, but see, oh, here, I can pull it down. See that one right there? I did just put it back on again a few days ago. See the sores starting to form, and I don't know if you can get this back here, but there's already the one there. There's already a sore there. But that's from the new ankle. It was really bad when they first put it on. Let me show you the one where it was on all the time. This is what happens even after a month now. See those scar tissues and rings? That's even after a month of it being off now. I have in my ass a little ashy, haven't put any lotion on. But you can see, you still got the bumps and the sores and stuff there. I have pictures I could send to you that are fresh from they're taken in the morning. And it's after, and you can see the pus and everything. Because this right here has only been on for a few days now. And it was off here for a while when they, because of the court order. So that's starting to heal. But I can show you the pictures. They're far more detailed than that. If you come back next week, this one have open sores on it. This leg here have open sores. They're just not starting to form now. But it's no doubt what's causing the sores. It's the actual scram itself. It's not because I'm allergic to the metal. It's not because I have sensitive skin. Now scram because they had forgotten for a while that I told them I was going to start making record of my office visits and my injuries. And their attitude was, do whatever you want. Well, that gave me permission to make audio recordings. But they forgot they said that. But now that they realize I am doing that, they're changing their tone. Because they are starting to say when I go in now, oh, well, you have sensitive skin. Or, well, you're allergic to this. They're trying to, because they know I'm recording, they're trying to say things to try and give them a defense. When it's, it's not. I'm not allergic to anything but penicillin. I don't have sensitive skin. I'm an engineer in a chemical plant that's governed by Homeland Security. We have a lot of chemicals in the air. I've been there for 2 going on 3 years. That is not the issue. And I'm not allergic to anything but penicillin. My doctor has even told them that it is the monitor itself, not the because they thought, well, maybe you're allergic to nickel. I'm not allergic to nickel. Okay. That's not it. It's the monitor itself. There's something with the monitor, not because it rubs or anything like that, because they have you put your sock and roll it down under the monitor so it holds it up, but it is right on your skin. And there's something in the monitor. I don't know if it's just the right frequency or what the deal is, but it irritates your skin and it causes it to blister and sore. Just like if you were to stick it in a microwave, but instead of it taking 30 seconds, it takes 2 days. But you get the same effect. The same effect. And like I say, you come back in a week and you'll see this will be open with a scab open and it'll be all pussy and everything. So they did that to this leg here, the right leg, for 10 months. No, about 9 months. And then they took it off. Now they did it for 10 months. Then they took it off, and now they have it on the left leg. As soon as they put it on there, 3 days later, within that week, I had sores. This has only been on here. Actually, it was yesterday, wasn't it? Did they put this on there yesterday? Yeah, they put it on again yesterday. Back on this leg yesterday. So it's only been on 1 day. But come back next week and you're going to have sores. No one really, I don't know what it is. My doctor knows what it is, but they do know that the scram device is causing it. And that's documented truth from doctors. Not my friends, not my buddies, not someone at work, from a doctor. 4. Not 1, 4. And the last doctor twice, because they couldn't believe that they're steady telling these people was doing it, and Scram was like, so what? As a matter of fact, Scram's even gone so much as to tell me, well, we have a court order. You're going to wear it or go to jail. You're going to pay me or go to jail. I'm like, why am I paying you to give me injuries? Why I have to pay you to cause, I have to pay you so that your device can cause me injuries. This is the way they treated slaves before the and even prisoners up until some time ago. Once you become their property, they can do whatever they want to. They put a shackle on you, and whether it caused injury, your leg fall off, or you got blisters, it didn't matter. You could have sores the size of Texas because you were their property. They could do with you as they chose. Guess what, though? I'm not their property, and they can't do with me as they choose. But they are doing it and getting away with it because guess what? No one listens. Even though they're all saying, hey, we're here to help you, we're here to protect you. No, they're not. No, they're not. Unless you are O.J. Simpson and you just killed Nicole, they're not interested. They say they are. But if you don't have a lot of money that they don't get from this case, nothing. If you're not a big name, nothing. And that's what's happening to me. I'm the everyday working Joe who makes $100,000 a year, whose rights are being violated, and is causing injury on a federal level because it's being done by state officials and court officers. No one cares. So, am I the only one that's happening to? No. May I be a small percentage? Yes. But does anyone know? No. Why? Because these guys, unfortunately, they are not in the position that I am. I actually have some kind of revenue or income coming in that I can afford to fight back a little bit. Most people are not in my position. They're usually low income. They don't have a job. And they can be bullied because they don't have a voice. At least I can afford to have to buy some kind of a voice in terms of legal assistance. And I have a computer at home. I have internet. I have fax capabilities. These other guys don't. They're barely being able to make their payments, and they're hoping that they don't violate them and send them back to jail so they lose the things that they do have. I'm maybe one step above that. So, but I'm sure it's happened a whole lot. Matter of fact, I know it has. It's impossible for it just to be me. It's impossible. But they don't say anything because they're going to be violated if they do. And then once they're violated, they lost everything. They just want to stay out of jail long enough to get whatever it is taken care of, and they can go back to living their lives. Well, with me, it's been going on for a year, not just a couple of months in and out. And that's the way they do most people. They're either going to go in and get whatever they're going to get, and at max they're going to get sentenced to 6 months or something like that. But that's it. And in my case, I haven't been sentenced to anything. Not one thing. I haven't been found guilty of any crimes. This is all because they want me to. I'm being treated unfairly with, how do they put it? The unusual punishment thing is called cruel and unusual punishment. I'm being cruel and unusual punishment, and I haven't even been found guilty of anything to be punished of.
Mm-hmm.
Figure that one.